India has thrown its hat, meanwhile, in to host the 2036 Olympic Games. Last year, Prime Minister Narendra Modi had confirmed India's bid to do so, emphasizing it's a shared dream of 140 crore Indians. He highlighted that sports is not just about winning medals, but also the best way to win hearts. Echoing this, International Olympic Committee member Neeta Ambani has said the day is not far when India will host the Olympic Games. However, this has been met by sharp criticism from Congress MP Karti Chidambaram. He stated that this endeavour would be a colossal disaster for the country. The Lok Sabha MP has argued that hosting the global multi-sport event will not only drive the country into huge financial debt, but the infrastructure built with the money would go unused after the Olympics. We know that the Olympics are a costly affair. France had spent $9 billion to host the event this year. Even earlier, Japan had spent $17 billion. Brazil had invested 13.1. UK had borne 13.3 billion in costs, and China had spent a whopping $52.7 billion. Now, even if tangible returns cannot cover the costs, an investment into Olympics is an investment into perception. Will the benefits outweigh the costs is the big question. Let's discuss that with our panel. Joining us live, Dr. Sunita Godara, Asian Marathon Champion, is live with us. Professor Madhav Nalapat, Editorial Director of the Sunday Guardian, is joining us live. Sudhanshu Mittal, former Vice President, Indian Olympic Association, is also live with us. Akash Jindal, Senior Economist, also joins the broadcast live. Let me begin with you first, Sudhanshu Mittal. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, of course, sees this as a dream to see India hosting the Olympics one day. The Congress and its Member of Parliament, though, believe it's a colossal disaster.
It's so strange that the very person whose father was the finance minister when this was hosted, the Commonwealth Games were hosted, is now talking about the colossal waste. The Congress had hosted the Asian Games also in 1982. And today, when it is the opportunity for another government, it suddenly becomes a colossal waste. I do not think the Congress understands the aspirations of the people of this country. This country is now on the upswing when it comes to sports. In the last 10 years, look how sports has become all pervasive. Look at the leagues we have. Look at the mass participation. Look at Khelo India. Look at Fit India. Look at all these programs which have now got down to the grassroots level, where people are now becoming a part of day-to-day sports. The mindsets have changed. There is a time that Khelo ke gawar, that mindset has now changed. The kind of opportunity which open up because of excellence in sports is there to see for all. And when it comes to the costs, do you realize that France has actually brought down the cost by more than $4 billion in organizing the game? Today, technology, today, innovative marketing, today, organization have created a cost restraint. And when you involve the private sector, really, these are not very big amounts. 12 years hence, what will happen is India at that time would be the second or the third largest economy of the world. And India will be on the footsteps of being a developed nation. At that point of time, the kind of impetus India will have globally, the kind of infrastructure which will get developed, for the sporting community, asked me. Today also we have problems about indoor stadiums. We don't have adequate infrastructure. I run a game called Kho, a game which is a grassroots game. You know, it's a mass sport.
Right.
And infrastructure is inadequate. Olympics in India will give a boost, will give a fillip, will create a new ecosystem for excellence of home-game sports and other sports. So all in all, when somebody says it's going to be a colossal waste, I do not think this person knows the concept of nation.
Okay.
He does not understand the concept of people, and much less the concept of sports and sports culture of a country.
Let's get in an economic perspective now from Akash Jindal. Akash Jindal, what do you believe is going to be the estimate of the costs involved in India hosting the Olympics? I give a figure of what other countries have spent. About how much do you believe the investment in India will be? And Akash, according to you, do the credits in the balance sheets outweigh the debits? Do the benefits outweigh the investments?
Yeah, surely. I would say with 100% clarity that the credits in the balance sheet would clearly outweigh the debits. Because see, I'll tell you the outlay also. Now what happens is, now huge infrastructure would be built. Infrastructure doesn't only mean stadiums. Infrastructure means roads, expressways, metro tracks, hotels, corridors. All those things are going to be used for another 50 to 60 years. That is one credit in the balance sheet. Now, stadiums also. We are a country of 140 crore people. We need more and more stadiums for our players, our budding players. There was a time, there was nobody who used to support Indian sportsmen. I would salute people like Sudhanshu Mittal, the way he's sporting Kho. I'll tell you, 1984 in my school, I used to be a Kho player, and there was nobody who was ready to pay even for our travel for 30 kilometers. We didn't have money. So 2 rupees for bus ticket and 1 rupees for samosas. That was also an issue. But now, with icons like Subhanshu Mittal supporting sport like Kho, I think it's clear time where a country like India must hold Olympics. Then the secondary benefits which we'll get is branding. So much of global media would be there in India, so much of visitors would be in India, that the brand India, India's soft power would be there, clearly visible to the entire world. What do you mean? I mean a soft power. As an economist, what I view is, once India's soft power is established with much more conviction, we'll have a lot more FDI, a lot more portfolio money, lot more tourists. See, we are the fifth largest economy. We are going to be the third biggest economy in another 2 to 3 years. By 2035, we are expected to be a 10 trillion US dollar economy. When we are competing with America's, China's, we are outpacing Japan's and Germany's as far as GDP growth is concerned. Why shouldn't we host an event like Olympics? Now let me take you back to 82. Now, prior to 82, though, of course, post 82 also real estate never allowed global money to come in. In Delhi also, places like South Delhi also, the prices of real estate were too little. But come 82, huge infrastructure was built. What happened was, post that, people from different parts of India traveled to Delhi. And that was the first time, post Asiad 82 Asian Games, that prices of real estate in Delhi saw a first boom. So economic benefits clearly outweigh the expenditure. And when we talk about expenditure, Uday, there would be sponsors also who will be contributing in money. Then we'll be charging for tickets also. Then people who will be coming in to see those games, they'll be staying in hotels, eating in restaurants, doing shopping, traveling various parts of India, other parts of India, going to Goa, Agra, other places, Kashmir. So I think as far as sports is concerned, definitely it's a great event. All our citizens and sportsmen would be proud of this event. But clearly as an economist, I think the credits clearly would outweigh the debits. Definitely it would. Now see, a country like France also, they are also not doing too well as far as economy is concerned. Even if we spend 8 billion,
Yes.
also the credits are going to be much.
Okay, let's get in a sporting perspective now. Sunita Godara is also with us. Sunita Godara, do you believe that this is going to be a game changer for Indian sport if India does win the bid to host the 2036 Indian International Olympics? Also, now with criticism coming in for the government's decision as well, do you believe that there should not be politics over an issue like this? Certain issues should unite the nation and should unite politicians. Sunita Godara, what's your take?
First of all, anybody who is saying that making stadium is a waste of money has no idea about sports person's requirement. We need many stadiums in all the cities, everywhere. The infrastructure facility is first one. Secondly, nurturing the sports persons not only in the cities but everywhere from village grassroots level. The preparation is good. Then only we can think about after 12 years the Olympics. And for the Olympics, first of all, we have to increase the total money, which now is in the sports like 3,450 crores. We have to make it 10,000 crores. So, okay, the CSR projects and the private bodies, private clubs, they are all coming in, and it will be a very good gesture for a sports person. Only thing is, if the preparation is good and not only the government, everything should not go onto the government, that government has to do everything, because government doesn't have that much of money. The whole country, the ideas, so that how we can make the Olympics no cost to government. Those ideas have to be taken in. The projects have to be, they should ask all the people, who have ideas, no cost to government base Olympics. And it can be done. I have seen Korea, Japan, and Malaysia. They make their stadium revenue generation thing. Here, only giving on hiring is the revenue generation. But the top of the stadium, which is abandoned after the tournaments, Asian Games and all, that can be used for revenue generation. So money will come in if the all the infrastructure is used properly, maintained properly, and for the sports persons, more the infrastructure, more facilities is better for their sports performance.
Yes. Professor Madhav Nalapat, now, a fierce political debate erupting after Karti Chidambaram's statement. What do you make of the Congress's criticism of this earnest effort by the government of India to bid for India to host the Olympics in 2036?
Well, I'd like to say that it's a very good move. I'd like to say that Olympic Committee members like Neeta Ambani have done well in pointing to India as a good destination for 2036. Karti Chidambaram appears to have no faith in the future of India. He clearly believes that India is heading towards chaos, that 2036 is going to be a very difficult period for India. That's not really true. By 2036, India would be well on the road to becoming a fully developed country. And definitely, the Olympics would be a catalyst for that. So this kind of a pessimism is perfectly unwarranted. At the same time, I'd like to point out that, as other guests have pointed out, when you have an Olympic Games, in a sense, you had the Asian Games in 1982, you had the Commonwealth Games in 2010. Both of them were hosted when Mr. Chidambaram's party was in power. Now, when you have something like the Olympic Games taking place, not only is the whole morale of the whole people is raised, and when morale is raised, productivity is raised, effort is raised, and that's so very important. And the second thing is that everybody has a clear target to work towards, where building of stadiums, infrastructure, other amenities are concerned. It happened during the Asian Games, and I'm sure we could see the same thing happen in 2036. So I would really like to say that, in my view, it's this kind of a pessimistic view of India is not borne by objective facts on the ground. Our country is making progress. We are moving forward, and we will be a third biggest economy by that time. There's no question. And from that point of view, we can easily afford the Olympics. And, as has correctly been said, you can have sponsors for that. So I must say, I'm surprised by Karti Chidambaram's pessimism about India. I'm surprised that a man of his age does not believe that India, when he's in 2036, just about 12 years from now, is going to be such a shambles. It doesn't speak well about his vision for India, and if it reflects the view of his party, reflects the view of his father, Mr. P. Chidambaram, former finance minister, home minister, it doesn't reflect their view of India as a prosperous country. It reflects their view of India as a country headed towards disaster, which is a completely mistaken view, and a view that is not designed, frankly, to be helpful in creating a climate for investment, a climate for productivity, a climate for harder effort on the part of everybody, where making a prosperous India by 2036 is concerned. And one symbol of that, one catalyst for that, would be the 2036 Olympics. Uday.
All right. Let me, yes, I think Sudhanshu Mittal wants to quickly respond there. Go ahead, Ms. Mittal.
Yeah, I just want to point out that the formatting of Sunday of Olympics is now changed. See, we have for the first time an India House in Paris. Now, this showcases India, its past, its culture. Like most of the developed nations put up their own house. Now, this is not a government of India effort. It's a house which has been put up by the Reliance Group.
Yes.
In the last Olympics in Tokyo, it was supposed to be by JSW, but for some reason, because of COVID and all, it could not do that. So increasingly, it's the brains of the Indian industry which are coming forward to support sports, because they see sports not only as an expenditure, but as a major accomplishment for their own brands. It's got such phenomenal brand value. And commercially, it makes huge sense. Again, see, when the IOC session took place in Mumbai, Government of India did not spend even a penny there. It was all done again by Reliance. Nita Mani is there as a member of the IOC. And the delegates are there, as I said, a lot of people, a lot of companies. Look at GMR, look at Adani, look at, they have all been. My game has a sports league. And this league is, the teams are bought by all the brand names of this country. Because people are investing in it. People are not looking at sport as an expenditure, not even as a revenue. They're looking at sports as an investment. The brand value of the league, which a proper league, is today running into hundreds and hundreds of crores. So we do not view the entire edifice of organizing Olympics from the sheer perspective of government bailing out X amount of money. No. These are major investmental opportunities, not even revenue. Forget the expenditure. These are all investmental opportunities. See, globally, sports, live sports, is the most watched after event on television. Be it football, be it Olympics, be it now cricket, the eyeballs are maximum in sports, in live events.
Yes.
No other event nobody has these kind of eyeballs. That's why they're become. Look at what amount of money cricket generates. Look at what BCCI has. Look at the rights, cricketing rights which are sold in India. What amounts they are sold for? So, Olympics is no more economic burden of a country. Countries make money today. Companies make money because mostly it's the companies which are organizing Olympic Games. They're the ones who are sponsoring their market deals. Okay. It's a completely different ecosystem which now runs the Olympics. So Mr. Chidambaram, with all his knowledge of foreign affairs and his indulgence in foreign affairs, seems to have missed out on the real economics of the world.
But how complicated now is the road ahead going to be, Sunita Godara? You know, we've made our intentions clear. How complicated now is the road ahead going to be to actually win the bid now?
To win the bid, first of all, whenever they are bidding, they have to showcase the country's capabilities and willingness. Political will is there, and of course Reliance is there, so they have money part also a little bit taken care of. But then also infrastructure in hotel, like we need many rooms requirement, 45,000 rooms, and the medal winners, at least we should have medal winning prospects about 100 before we go for the Olympics. So all these things need preparation. Only government does not have to do everything. Government has to become facilitator, and there has to be ideas where, we have dearth of opportunities in India where the Olympic can be done without putting any burden on government if all the private bodies come together and the political parties. Now, government of the day is announcing that we want to bid for Olympics. So the opposition party is criticizing. This is not fair because the Olympic is for the country, not for the party. So everyone has to come together. Infrastructure has to be developed. Nurturing of the sports persons has to be developed. Then we have to have more, like we have very, very thin base for the talent in India. So we have to make it very vast, mass participation in all the sports, so that the sports person who are there in Olympics at present, they will be all ex-Olympians. So we have to nurture the new grassroots level people up to the Olympic. So too much of concentration is required, but India can do Olympics if everyone come together and work towards it. No to government is possible when the government becomes...
Yes, I think Akash is coming back in. Go ahead, Akash.
I think Sudhanshu Mittal has made a very logical and nice statement that investment in sports means very good economics, very good businessmen. That is the change.
But we need to ensure that that investment also, of course, and creation of new stadiums leads to good maintenance as well. I'll give you an example. We see the Budh International Circuit, which of course is outside Delhi in Greater Noida area, that was hosting the Formula 1, and there were two very, very fantastic additions there. But after that, has that infrastructure been used adequately? Yes, finally, I think the MotoGP was held under the UP government's patronage. But, are we going to maintain well after this infrastructure has been created? That's also a big question that we need to address. Yes, Akash?
Yeah, definitely, because according to my knowledge, MotoGP this year is also going to be held there, because that area has come up very well. Of course, with that specific project, there has been certain issues. That's a different story altogether. But the area has come up very well. A new airport is coming in the vicinity. Now what happens is, now investing in sports means great business, because as of now we are not aware, India is not used to of getting sports team listed in the stock exchanges. Now then, 5 years, 10 years from now, cricket teams, kabaddi teams, kho teams would be listed on the exchanges. People would be investing into those teams.
Right.
So that's why.
Brilliant point. Please elaborate this.
So that's why I say I totally endorse Sudhanshu Mittal when he says that investing in sport means great business. I'm so happy that corporates in India, big business people in India, they have come to know about this, and they are all out supporting sport, because on one hand, you are supporting the sports. On other hand, you are making a big business for yourself and your investors. As I'm telling you, 83, 84, when I was playing Kho, I wish I had a Sudhanshu Mittal who could pay 2 rupees for my bus fare and 1 rupee for my samosas. We never had. But today we have Nita Ambani, Sudhanshu Mittal, the other people. That is why I totally endorse him where he says private sector is there to invest. Private sector is ready to be a sponsor. Private sector is ready to contribute. And that speaks of India's corporate power. And when private sector is investing, they have done all the calculations. They have seen what has happened in US. They've seen how corporates have benefited.
I'm running out of time. I'll leave the last word to Professor Nalapat.
Look, we are 1.4 billion people. We need to have an extensive talent search of these people and develop youngsters of talent the way Sudhanshu has done in the case of Kho and the way others are doing in the case of other sports, including cricket. Locate youngsters, develop their potential, and believe me, I can tell you, Uday, 1.4 billion people can produce 100 Olympic champions quite easily. The right people have been identified. They have to be given the facilities, as Sunita Gadare was saying. They have to be given the encouragement. And once that is done, we will have more than 100 Olympic gold medals. There's no doubt about it. 1.4 billion people. It's a priceless resource. It's a very valuable resource. And it should not be underutilized. It should be fully utilized. And I think that is the key to success. And in which involving people as much as possible, locating talent wherever it is found. And you've seen films and movies on that kind of a theme, and they're absolutely accurate. That's what we need to do, and I'm sure that's exactly what the government is planning to do. When the Prime Minister said 2036, we are going to host, we want to host the Olympic Games. The whole idea is ensure that the Olympic Games reaches out to 1.4 billion people, not just to 100 million or less. 1.4 billion people, and the talent of 1.4 billion people is discovered and utilized for that purpose today.
All right, let's leave it at that. My thanks to all of our guests for joining us on the broadcast.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.